morning. I'm Drew Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres, enjoying this really nice, right around average temperatures. Dirk, a few minutes ago, just broke down where we were last year at this time.
Which I think a lot of us have chosen to forget.
Yeah, we have forgotten about it, but of course, a lot of folks, you just remember because of just how hot it was last year at this time, what you were doing and how you spent the day. If you're spending the morning right now getting outside, grabbing a cup of coffee, or just getting a workout started, it's a nice start to the morning. We're down to the upper 50s here as we look across downtown Sacramento. A few passing high clouds in the distance, and overall the sun's coming up here in about the next 38 minutes. Looking ahead to the next couple of hours, we'll be in the low 70s by 10 a.m. Sunny skies with light southwest winds expected today, and highs pushing in to the upper 80s to lower 90s. Right now it is 58 degrees in Fairfield. It's 62 getting your Wednesday started in Stockton and waiting for that sun to peek out. 62 in Yuba City, 64 right now in Auburn, and all the way up the hill we're at 41 degrees in Truckee and 44 in South Lake Tahoe. There is a faint delta breeze coming through Fairfield currently, and there is a marine layer really starting to kind of thicken up along the coast of California. I do expect that for folks that are waking up in Fairfield, you feel that breeze. You can also probably look across the hills and see kind of the leading edges of that marine layer filling in into western Solano County. Forecast for kids getting out to school this morning. They're going to want a layer to begin the day with those mostly sunny skies and cool conditions. By lunchtime, the temperatures getting already up into the lower 80s, and as kids leave the classroom later today, maybe they have outdoor plans or a sporting event after school, it is going to be pretty warm and play out like summer with highs reaching the lower 90s. Coming up in my full forecast, I'll break down what's ahead for you through the rest of the work week and on into the weekend. It is 6:02. Of course, Brian, the school bus drivers and commuters need to know what's happening on the roads.
Yeah, we'll start out here in the Highway 50 area, El Dorado Hills, and you can see traffic very light up there this morning. Beautiful shot from the El Dorado Hills area. Not far from this location, unfortunately, right now, Green Valley Road at Francisco, getting reports of a vehicle versus pedestrian in the El Dorado Hills area. So watch out for that right now, right near the shores of Folsom Lake there by Browns Ravine is where this is happening. So again, vehicle versus pedestrian. Try to get more details on that. But otherwise, Highway 50 looking good. From that area coming into downtown, and Interstate 80, we're not seeing any problems as well as you make your way westbound down through the split and over the top. 5 and 99 incident free out of Elk Grove, along with the causeway on westbound Interstate 80 looking good to or from Davis. I-5 northbound in the Stockton area, the fire department is responding to the report of a grass fire right near 8 Mile Road. Doesn't appear to be too significant, and they should be arriving on scene any moment if they're not already there. 5 and 99 looking good, and westbound 4 out of Stockton, not seeing any delays for our Bay Area commuters. Interstate 80 505 to 12 through Vacaville and Fairfield, 14-minute ride there. Westbound 205 starting to build now at 49 minutes across the top of the Tracy Triangle. Westbound 580 205 to 680, 29 minutes there. Highway 50 into downtown, a 10-minute ride. Interstate 80 9 minutes, and 5 and 99 11 minutes out of Elk Grove. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brian.
We are following a developing story now out of Sacramento as we learn more about a Sacramento police officer's upcoming court appearance.
He is now facing criminal charges related to a deadly collision, and as we've learned, this is not the first time he's faced scrutiny over his driving. Go to Mike Tassell live in Sacramento this morning with details on this. Good morning.
And good morning, Taylor. We're standing specifically right at the Sutterville on-ramp to I-5, and it was right down here on this exact spot by the end of this on-ramp that we were standing 9 months ago when this deadly incident happened. Let me show you. This is video from when we covered this collision during the morning commute back on December 6th of last year. According to the CHP, a Sacramento police detective in an unmarked police sedan hit and killed 2 brothers who were standing outside of their truck on the side of the freeway. That truck had stalled. What's interesting is that I distinctly remember that morning when we arrived, even though it was the Highway Patrol that was investigating this crash, for some reason, the Sacramento Police Department repeatedly kept trying to move us further and further away from this scene, but refused to tell me why they wanted us to keep moving. Well, by mid-morning, the CHP did confirm on that day that the driver accused of hitting those 2 men was indeed a Sacramento police detective. His name, Jonathan Nangle. And yesterday, Sacramento police confirmed that he turned himself into the jail where he was processed and released after a judge issued an arrest warrant. That detective now facing 2 criminal counts of vehicular manslaughter. We also know that according to online court scheduling, his first court appearance is currently set for November 27th. But this is back out here live. Not the first time this police detective has faced scrutiny. Back in 2021, the city settled a civil lawsuit in which a woman claimed that she was injured in a car crash involving Detective Nangle. Live along I-5 this morning at Sutterville, Mike Tassell, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Mike, thank you. In a prepared statement, Sacramento's police chief said the death of Juan Carlos Enriquez Rodriguez and Lionel Enriquez Rodriguez is a devastating and tragic loss. My heart goes out to their family, friends, and community.
Well, tonight, the Rockland Unified School Board is going to be voting on a new policy centering on parents' rights.
It would require campus employees to notify parents if their child wants to identify as transgender, non-conforming, or use a different name of pronouns. Let's go to Mike Cherry in studio now with more on tonight's vote. Mike.
Yeah, so the proposal up for a vote tonight would require teachers, counselors, or school site administrators to let parents know about any of those changes within 3 days. So parents would have to be notified if their child requests to be identified as a gender other than their biological gender, use a name that differs from their legal name, use pronouns that don't align with their biological sex, or want to use certain restrooms or changing facilities, as well as have access to sex-segregated school programs or activities. Now, this would also change a student's right to privacy. It says a student's transgender or gender non-conforming status is the student's private information, just with the exception of parental notification. We did speak with district parents about this proposal.
I do believe that people have choices, but I do also believe that it is really important for parents to know, especially children, when it comes to their decisions and things.
I have, friends that have gone through this type of thing, and I just think that's awful that it's another thing that they would have to worry about, and I don't think we should be putting that on them.
Now, this policy does mimic one seen in Southern California that sparked action from state officers. Attorney General Rob Bonta says he is suing the Chino Valley Unified School District for its implementation of a similar parent notification rule. Spokesperson for his office says they're aware that the same policy is now being proposed in Rockland and will, quote, respond accordingly. Now, that board meeting is set to get underway tonight at 6:30. Deirdre?
All right, thank you. Well, Rockland Unified is not the only district considering this policy. According to the Buckeye Union School District website, tonight it's going to be discussing the same parental notification policy that the Chino Unified School District adopted. The agenda says that the item was requested by Todd White, the chairman for the El Dorado County Republican Party.
Well, everything about us lives on our phones these days, and soon that could even include our driver's license.
Verifying your ID could be as easy as opening up an app. KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo live at the DMV this morning with more on mobile driver's licenses for Californians.
Yeah, they're called mobile DLs by the DMV, and you download them onto your smartphone. It's not meant to replace your physical identification card or driver's license, but in the future, it could just be an easier way for people to verify their identity at various locations. Take a look at how it works. We have some video to show you from the DMV. You download an app called the DMV Wallet, you follow the verification steps, and then you get a secure, convenient mobile driver's license or identification card for use at select airports and select convenience stores. The mobile DL started being tested by a select group back in May, and now it's open for the public to try, with the DMV making note of how it works, and then it's going to report back to the legislature by the end of the calendar year on all of that. Now, we spoke with the DMV about how it's keeping security in mind when it comes to the app.
That's engineered into the product. We are meeting the highest federal standards for, the information that's encrypted and stored on the device, and making sure that through the authentication and validation process that all that information is being properly protected and properly disposed of as it needs to be.
Right now, the mobile DL is only being accepted at certain TSA lines in airports in San Jose, Los Angeles, and in San Francisco. The DMV does expect this technology to be more widely used in the coming years. And also you can use it at some convenience stores as well. So Deirdre and Teo, it could be something that you test out, but 1.5 million Californians can be part of this test group between now and the end of the year. Back to you.
You kind of almost knew it was coming, Melanie. Thank you. Appreciate the report.